for for I daily update TV. So send no first time I friends so I need no book and no idea. No one subscribe am I sending news be no she be notification of phone so I be so and my face be share more down for so any variety for me and can some to thing. See say ato force na babontin e wo parliament na nsem wa babontin be kan de ese woni sese kacho. Nim say another sene no me de omiesa a manifesto ya wa babontin abero bishes that a manifesto na babontin no. Eno na to force any abri pa na okase. And Trankofo a gusu chama Ghana for no dwena wan tiase the same nchono mu twai abra no about 2016 ebeje ayestia no efri eye ye papa penye fene John Drummond ma nsema sise no eye Bawumia na abegistia na yesi yinim de opeso oche abeyo bekobi osimo festia ne ma no eno na ma to for se babontin abegu na ni mase pa chese nya asem ketwa Manifesto sa oda mu nyina chese enya adem ebo Ghana for obi a mo launch manifesto na mo kansema echi eye John Drummond mama anase mo kansema echi ndisi fo amanyuko no eno na to for se babontin abegu sankofo nyina ni mase awokase sa progressive phase chese no eye John Drummond mama de baye yes afa ye beka ye free to share mkofome ko face yana free na John Drummond mama da share any policy then Bawumia na number bi obeka say ono so bo be the same thing but ono de obeya momo di dem nko but John Drummond mama so yam obia se we di dem se won di dem o yam obia I don't know how to force any abrepa we be guna any massipa. You could see a so a voice beer now clear air about the free SHS now come I want me tertiary institution me call for first year. I created some student loan be mom near the day. But so come nin good in same year I come in kababo in Jamaica ba near them come to na to us.
That woman bemu woman po mo want to maka say woman ya solid team no. Sa team no no na da no. It is ane se Bawumia tumi a wo penti wo begira ani mo bia wo se wo be move ya free taxation e dia ko production na sa asem na wo gusu a wo kan na yen fa na asem ne sai ma me man tie Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni nsem ni bia no wo kan e dia fa ye sika samo na dwempo wo kwan a obefa so ese aye ne ye tie we Power FM no Fiscal Responsibility Council Kaise in 2020 answer ni yako 2020 abatwo no memtio answer ni yako 2020 abatwo no adika dia betu dwa so mo be introduce Fiscal Responsibility Act ayemra wo mo be gina so ahwe ama aban abone bra in such a way say obehye ne ho so se na be ya sikadie bebrebe enye den enkoso omo na de samra yi baaye Kaise sabre no Dr. Ato Forson nsentwefo nhia mu bi abeka che Ghana for say samra no ne baabi a empempenso a ekye aban no ebetimi ayusu sika aduru no aban na tra ho na wo se de yesi kɔ no wanhwɛ de ɔsɛ beba monkai wo mutrim Dr. Ato Forson ne wono na minority leader sabre no ye ranking on the finance committee wo nsentwefo nhia mu ewo mrache badwafie ebe boss akɔkɔ no eka cha ban se ba bia wo kɔ no ɔno ankasa ne mra na wo hye no wo buso wo ba mfa na sem hia eti se ne Bawumia be ka cha se yen a ye hye mra anka botai na atachire ni se ebe boa ma ban no ahye ne ho so wo sikadie basabasa no sa mra no ye wa ban mu ye buso na ye buso nyina achie no ene samoto abama me ya me ba ye begina sa mamra no so ati baso nkuo bi a ye fre no Fiscal Responsibility Council asa council no behwe se sikadie basabasa nkoso wo ye da gini tum ye ntie Bawumia
public tertiary institutions to address the housing deficit on our campuses and make them affordable. We will introduce a free tertiary scholarship for persons with disability to remove the financial barriers to pursuing their educational goals. On scholarships, we will integrate the scholarship databases across all the public sector institutions managing such schemes to ensure full visibility and transparency. We will expand eligibility for the student loan scheme to include all post-secondary students, including certificate and diploma programs. We will prioritize and direct a significant proportion of national scholarship schemes towards training and skill.
Standing by President John Dramani Mahama, dear Wakafa, Nia Obayama, and Kwada Fei no Maso se, Omubeko Suyapon, any Akwanya Abino, Ebaje, a Kanaswa. But what dear Bawumia Sebia, Asamba Kwa NDC, Edina Dina no se, Eba Babia, university students, Edio Mutibeto, in terms of hostel no. Womobaya share Bediabua, said a beya, Omubenya, hostels are Nebuano form. Na ye bia mu sere be ya hochire bia ma no eno abi na Dr. Bawumia sisuo no say omo be ye bibia e friend affordable hostel. How affordable is affordable? Because even ujina affordable housing at terms no so Bawumia kana affordable housing no wa we cheche ni witimi go tobi wa afen wa we suku a obesha brass no witimi e go to sa dan ni bi. So how affordable is that affordable now? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And by the way, a best Yapon won sema, and could have been a so mbeko Suapono. A dear de pan you may hear some. Omuti payakasie, a yesika omutia within the first year. John Mahama said within the first year, Wabaje cano, a buying a best wakano, what were boon quanta, and the sicato, any sikakura, a bequasadi, and a quanya, or befaso this escano. And they are so anymore. Yet, yes, said your mama, a canasem.
We call it no fee stress policy. There are many cases of students who are unable to take up their offers in tertiary education because they simply cannot afford to pay the academic fees. And one wants the situation where everybody who has the opportunity to go to tertiary to achieve a tertiary education to be able to take up their places in these institutions. And the first year is particularly stressful because a lot of the children would have come from the free SHS where the burden of paying fees has been taken off the parents. Then suddenly they come to tertiary and then bam, they are hit with major payments. And so to smoothen that part, we said we would begin to implement the constitutional provision of progressively free tertiary education. And so it's not going to affect the subvention of universities, indeed, of tertiary institutions. Indeed, we're going to increase the subvention to tertiary institutions. But we're going to budget for this. We estimate that it will cost between 270 and 290 million. We believe that we should be able to do that by resizing and rebalancing the budget to be able to find the resources for it. And it will be administered by the Student Loan Trust. And so the money will be paid to the Student Loan Trust, and the Student Loan Trust will pay that money to the universities on behalf of the students who have been admitted. But it will be a grant, it won't be a loan. The Student Loan Trust will pay it as a grant. It will not be included in the loan portfolio of the students. The students would settle in the first year, and in the second year, when they have been registered on the Student Loan Trust, they will begin to access their loans. And as you know, the loans are payable only when they finish school and have found a job. And so let me state again that it will not affect the subventions, the internally generated funds of the universities, because government will budget for it and give it to the Student Loan Trust to give to the first level 100 students as a grant to pay the academic fees. And then from the second year, they can properly access the student loan. So I hope that this brings clarity to it. I just want to reassure my colleagues in UTAG that it will not affect their IGFs. And indeed, over the years, government subvention to tertiary institutions has been dwindling, and so it's affecting the running of these universities. And so we think that if we resize and rebalance the budget and cut out a lot of waste, we can increase the subventions to universities so that they're able to run more efficiently and provide the quality education that we expect them to provide for students.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no, and I pay the air and say, Yade Obia, any Shadi Hunu, Yade any Shadi Hunu, and I to Tie, a Bawumia, and Tie, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. This is on the educational sector. What year a year Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? When you and Shadi Hunu be the basic education. Because and ran the Casa Bebre in Anakojina and to Aswosuku and Ishiapon. In the case of tertiary, was say, Omo Madi them a bine ebefa cano, no Mako a yes Yapono, free Sicano, baby a be free about 1 chre. A quam befas when yes says cano, 1 chim. But in the case of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, watch out baby a scan be free about. And when you so we bubu any, so we did demo, so we need demo. Woso a breso.
Ebusan for nyantin sema ekwan minka babu ntia beka chese ne sem no kano na chese ne nia brie pa na wo kasa chese enya asem ketwa na entwa yensem so kakra yenim se bra no mo yes data ye manifesto no eye omampani efe na akofado e babontin e bekasai na ne nsem no babontin beka ya de chese imore mi pa e to two chicks ya de edema eye e papa penyi John Dramani Mahama amanfo mo Ghana nyina so mo pe change nyina John Dramani Mahama no mo pe yewura eye omampenyi afena kofadu ya babontin kikane boso asem ediche eye omampenyi dada efeno eye John Dramani Mahama na ne nsem no kane chese ose eye beka eye Bawumia yobia obuade John Dramani Mahama yobia omuade onyo bia o kansem edi trigger na for nim na akansem ebri eno na ekwa min kenkase ha shepe ekoso Ghana for mo Ghana for nyina bu form na nam wiase omnam Ghana no di nti o mai di ni se omse omdomani ato John Dramani Mahama baba abontin ekeka di ope edi ache no I say no obebo some tips be a course to join the manifesto mistakenly no and Emma Ebeka Akofaro Suko Echo Boss some project beer interchange sa interchange no more cano sana interchange banko Ebeka John Dramani Mahama dia and our breaking news matches and yasam to Mr. Kamningo take one make ba ni dem come join to us
Say what's so coach ya pon sa adeswa kese na eda wo Forson no e no person odi wudjuma titiri wo sabre ba bia ya duro said yes say o man Ghana sikasem amanfo nyuma bomo amanfo sika no mudi asie e wo sika kurabia investment amanfo akoye ye e wo abai investment ehihye ahodo mu asa sika nyina bomo sika no akokam abai ministers ka no eno so na watie amanfo e kasa Joma ma gina so akasa suapon no first year abai no be faka. But in the case of Bawumia wayim was say Omo did them on. And by the way, so we hear Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ninsema Walker, and the Afa Kwan or Befaso, Abuama and Yuma Ba. You ask yourself, where was he all these years? 7 to 8 years here. Now we are vice president, head of the economic management team. No, na fan and now walk. Na dien, and then was said here, pan saying. And among Bain and Anna was so to went to Sabreno. My mount here. His Excellency Akufo-Addo ebra na wodan na dise Bawumia obi a ne kasa ene ne yodan di pevese obuo e de Ghana for ye begina so de di nkomo bi hwewei.
Has respect for the people of Ghana. This is not a man who is going to tell the Ghanaian people that you have short memories. That is not the kind of man we have here. That is not the type of man we have here. He's a man who has respect for the people of Ghana. This is not somebody who's going to say to the Ghanaian people when his policies have failed that I am not a magician. That is not the language of Bawumia. That is not the sort of person that he is. We have here a man who is respectful and who will work night and day to make sure that our country continues on the upward trajectory. You have, in the business that we have chosen, some who blow with the wind. They say one thing today and they'll say another thing tomorrow because they believe that we have.
Enframano and the bomb kwafa na di omukwa. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe ya was dying in 2011 and I catch and say that could be NPP penidino e bedru so no ka wo mu a watip wankasa watip wo so ombedi ombenya penindie di bre no e wo NPP mu no. Urefi se nanu ya wo gina simpie so e ka sa ho kire bia ni Ghana. Ghana fa mutie me samba kaya o ka kire sa ho kire bia ni Ghana. This same person anukuro yawo esa kogina simpie kuro ya so e ka se magana fo nyina ho kire so emfa ntoaba. So when Akufo-Addo ejina platform so e ka se ebimo they go with the wind enframano ebo mu kwa afa omu nyina fa ko omu nya consistent when ensem omu ka wo patch say consistency in ensem omu ka no enya Bawumia kuro ya na wo ka kire say nya say wo wiase nyina cheri trim e de na Bawumia de 625 billion busia bobeberebe a modi abeka o my Ghana ka ho ene ye ka ne nam 743 billion no e de na modi 624 billion no ye mo be ka nche ye eno munya akwanya hwedonhwe ahodo a munya ye se mo betima dan sa de na di akwanya mo se se mo de kire akwan be na mutimi bo edin be na mutimi bo ye ehine wo enya some young women and men emomu begina simpie so at the same event e ka kire say o my interchange say mo bobo interchange samaya mo de tema motorway expansion e de na ka ho sa tema motorway expansion project joma ma chance say wodi hu juma ansa na wo fira bem no. And you see the funny thing and this pussy footing asam na Akufo-Addo ka no ehia daddy prefer say enumpo esi wona bem no eye swami interchange mpo a this young lady ekadeka the number of so-called interchanges was say aban we aye so ye ka obi a wo pussy footing when you consistent want to be NC gina ye nyina fa akwa e wo so wogina Bawumia ne NAPO aye the best example Akufo-Addo you could have set for us. Bawumia na catch Ghana for in opposition say so sourcing aye the jinjan a bomai and na Bawumia nua bema Abraham Bawumia is a beneficiary of so sourcing. Sunyai airport modia come achievement won say moye nsiesie ama say Sunyai airport enya nimonyama bro adwene ntiase so Abraham Bawumia through sole source agreement and ye this adwuma de yi ma no 525 billion and $1 million and ye this sole source agreement ye de ma no say won kwa nsiesie no e de nsiesie no aye wo de wa ko Sunyai airport tell me say dear pa no ma ya and this $525 million each year and dear pa no ma ya Sunyai airport ya a deserve that $525 million no. Hey, you come and tell people of Ghana, who say diatem e de aguso, say Bawumia yo bia obu Ghana for. Bawumia no ni memuha and a nipa 19 ehromonkwa because aban mu a na wo so odeboa say the buy dialysis no bekoye e de amom na ama. Na Bawumia ni memuha and a do baby e buy den e de ma Ghana ban po so benya sika e de aboa wo mo ya de hwa ahodo Sarabaya and Grampani and Grampani, one benya biawo, no ni kroma, no ni mewa. And ya Bawumia Kroyana Jali as a Jamina, Esiano, Ewo, Womo Jumadia Bakwase, our catcher and say, nursing training allowances, no, Womo the Yamai, no one be found. Our case, we're doing cryer, or the catcher finance minister, I'm in a to one more, best it net. And now what baby and I'm in Shamubiase. Young lady be our nursing trainee. What kind of pain? Was it besin ne? And for Sudia Biamai, besin ne, Sikani Yentiae, besin ne, Womugu Sudakem. edi na kyerɛ Bawumia na woto
abusuafo native for any information beto na so asem for pemasem no ye mam te sa news ya koso se enya asem koto so concern about ye sa eye statement na akofo de babonti be kan edi twi ra panyi eyako eye be kan John German ma manima ade emfa kwem kra ozaba bonti no kan se o man panyi enche ba benya no enye obi a wasasasana no. That means say enche bia na ba NAPO ba bonti be kan say oh say that Ghana say I like akofo dey say change your mind dey Ghana enya enche bia sa be nya simple so NAPO ya say kase Ghana for here change David one say at the year say ono no say ono so e ba bonti bra na amuyesa manifesto no ono so kan say omo here change in anything. That means a mommy piamano no campo, most more person NDC for the ever power. And on a macam mean can bring almost a punches and yas and couture. A de far to forcing in similar the Betudian so and so ya they say more ye pan. Concerning about the year may be a course doing a manifesto now to force and rubbish that a statement in ya. I just will go meaning any mass yes and yas and couture. More to win in I dear we tibon coso and ya dear winning dear mokika. Just out of force and Babu Tabi go many mass ewo parliament. Just enyas and get one. We near dear Becca a year coming cababo and see ability some information we. If you had to assimilate man can beating our drinking alcohol calling session beating to a share and more down for so any biashe. Subscribe my need no book so I daily update TV.